Okay. So batch management. So what is the importance of the batch management? Okay. Uh, so just give you one example. Okay. So there was a Nokia. Okay. If you remember that there was a 20 years back. Okay. We got some problem on the battery. Let's assume that. Okay. So there was like let's assume that. Okay. There was some company. Okay. Which they have produced some mobiles. Okay. So mobiles they produced. Okay. So what they got, so they got something escalations or something like complaints from the customers. Okay, complaints from the customers, like they're saying that uh, there was few products. Okay, few products which the battery automatically blasted. It's like it is firing automatically, which the battery was firing automatically when we charging the product. Okay, so if it is one or two then cases, then they can okay, it might be because of the region of the charger, or it might be power problem or something. But continuously we are getting the products. Some products we are getting um, customers escalations and customer complaint. So then the company they decided to check that okay, what is the batch number. Okay, so the batch, okay, because what batch it is produced. Okay, suppose let's assume that 02 2022. Okay, so where there is a one batch, okay, which is produced 1000 mobiles. Okay, so these 1000 mobiles, okay, having that, okay, different batteries. Okay, batteries having that they are purchased from okay, some XYZ vendor. Okay, so whatever the 1000 mobiles, okay, they are using something like the batch number. Okay, the batch number which like they have the batch number for these all batteries. Okay, so 1000 mobiles have the 1000 batteries which is the which we are received from the vendor on one lot. Okay, so what we understood that we whatever we getting the products, whatever we are getting the problem with that products. Okay, so we just when we randomly we just checking that. Okay, so these all which is this batch number, one batch number. Okay, all batteries which is only one batch number. So then they come to know that okay, these all batteries have the problem. Okay, so whatever the batteries which we are using, whatever the products we are uh, produced on that on with this batch number, so they are requested to return back and they will be giving the new products, new batteries or new mobiles they are giving. Okay, so if I don't have the batch number, if I'm 1000 mobiles of supplying to the customer and I'm getting on this date, so it is very difficult to be find that what kind of the batteries were used, who is the vendor, and who is the uh, oh, what kind of how many materials we are getting this problem. It's very difficult because the daily we are supplying that daily we are supplying lots of materials, lots of mobiles. Okay, so if I have the batch number, I can easily identify that okay, this entire batch of the raw materials is having the problem. So where there is a these raw materials we are using for the production, those materials I can ask customer to return back, and we will be sending the new mobiles to them, or maybe new batteries to them. Okay, so basically it is like it will be helpful to the identify when there is any critical situation. Okay, the batch lot. Other than this, okay, if you see that if I'm running the college. Okay, so running the college we have the different branches are there, different classes are there. Okay, so if I'm going to the degree degree first year, again in the degree first year we have that 3 to 4 batches are there. So each batch have the each batch have the some peoples we had. So that means, so I can say that okay, this is my batch ID and this is my batch number in this school. Okay, in this college. So like when there is a stock, maybe you're receiving the stock from the vendor on particular day, we can put it like one batch, or what we produce the products, that will be the one batch, or it may be okay the components okay which we are selling to the customer, that will be one batch. Okay, so like we can define, and we can tracking purpose we can use that. Okay, so basically batch number can be used for the set of the materials in the one batch, with the one batch. Okay. Okay, if you need one example, a simple example, if you could see that there was a every year there was constable trainings and essay trainings will be there. So they have their own batch number. So if somebody they are asking that which batch from you, that they can say that okay 2022 this is the batch number I have. So like so so in that batch number, how many people they are trained, and how many people they are come out from that that they have the all the details. So the same way, here also the lot, the lot stock lot we can define in the one batch. Okay, either it may be one piece, 1,000 piece, 20,000 piece, 30,000 piece, and number of pieces, whatever it may be. So one time when the batch which is created, we are assigning one lot. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay.
Okay, clear. So it's easily we can identify. So the SF batchment is used for the similar functionalities to identify the unique number that process for the some specific information like batch that batch with the production which is happened, this is the one batch number. Tomorrow if it is again there is one more production, then there is a different batch number. Okay, clear. So basically where we are using this batch management, this batch management we are using in the inventory management, and we are using in the production process. Okay, and we are using the process orders, and we are using in the sales and distributions, we are using in the warehouse management, right? So where we can use these batches. So every modules have that, every modules they have. Okay, so where they can use they can use for the inventory management. Okay, they can use for the production planning, production process, production order, or maybe process order. Okay, or they can use for the sales and distribution. Okay, sales and distribution is for the customer orders, right? So lot we are sending to the customers, and warehouse management. Okay, so every process have their own identity, their own steps of process. Okay, so what is the inventory management? In inventory management, to search the batch numbers during the material movement. So when we are receiving the goods, or when we are receiving the goods, or when we are transferring the goods, okay, into that plant, what are the movement, stock movements which is happen. Okay, so we can define one batch number. Okay, usually we can search the batch numbers. Okay, so the same way it is like production orders. Okay, to search the batch when we are issuing the components, like I just now I just given the example, right? So we have the 10 components are there, 10 components have the different batches numbers are there, so we can easily identify that. So okay, what batch number we have sent for this product production and all. Okay, and the sales and distribution, again you know that the we are using for the sales order processing. Okay, so we can search batch number, batch split you can do, and batch number we can allot to the this customer issuing. Okay, so the and the warehouse management anyway, which is like batch for the warehouse, which is like exactly if we have the storage bins and all, again in the storage bin we can put a batch level stocks as well. Okay, clear.
Okay.
Okay, so now coming to the batch management. Okay, so the majorly the production planning people will be using this batch management. But apart from this, okay, even sales people they are using, and production people, even inventory management people they are using, and okay, warehouse management people they are using. Okay, so now coming to the batch management, what level we can define? So do you know that how what level we can define the batch management?
At company code level or at plant level?
So one is the client level.
material level and plant level.
Okay, one is the plant level. Okay, one is the material level. Okay, so either you should fix that which level you want to go ahead. Okay, plant level, client level, and material level. Okay, so what do you mean by that client level? What do you mean by plant level, and what do you mean by material level? So anyone have the idea about that? If batch, if it is defined at client level, what will be happen? If the batch which is defined at plant level, what will be happen? And if the plant which is defined at material level, what will be happen?
So if I'm using it at the material level, that means material can be extended across at multiple plants. So for that plant, I can use the same batch number.
Mm-hmm,
If it is at the batch plant level, that means one plant uh, can that means at the plant level, the batch number will not repeat.
mm-hmm,
And if we are maintaining at the client level, that means uh, under one company code, whatever the plants that are there and
mm-hmm.
whatever the materials that are there, we will be applicable. It will be applicable. Only one batch number will be applicable.
Okay, okay. So yeah, let's go ahead detailedly. Okay, so if it is a client level, what will be happen? Okay, the batch number will be unique. Okay, that means unique batch number for the entire client. Okay, so entire client meaning that the same batch number will not be generated for a different plant. That means if I'm using the batch number ABC, okay, that batch number ABC will not be generated in the other plants. It is unique at a client level. Okay, so this method it's not useful when we are doing the stock transport order. If I'm doing the plant to plant transfer, so what will be happened in my plant if I'm using the ABC? So the other plant also they must be used the ABC because the tracking purpose. But in this case, what I'm saying, client level it will be the same. So in this case, what will be happened? It is unique entire all the client level, right? So that means okay, the same batch number will not be generated in the other different plants. Okay, it is the same. Okay, then coming to the plant level, what will happen at plant level? What will happen if I'm creating the batch number in the my plant inside of my plant for the material? The same batch number can be used, can be generated at another plant as well. Okay, so that means ABC if I'm created a plant 1100, then same I can use the batch number with the 1200 also because I'm defining at plant level. Okay, so in this case what will happen when I'm doing the plant to plant transfer, I can easily capture that. Okay, here also ABC batch and there also ABC batch I can use. Okay, 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 is it clear? And
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm using the material level, what will be happen? Okay, so material in this case batch number will be unique for the material level only. So that means I can use, okay, if I'm giving the plant, okay, if I'm the giving the plant, different materials can be used the same batch number. That means if I'm created ABC for the material under the plant 1100, same batch number I can use for the different material as well in the different plant. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear or can I repeat again?
Yes, sir. It is clear.
Do you want to repeat, Shankar? Yogesh?
No, no, it is clear for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to that. If you define okay batch level, so at the initial itself you have to be defined that whether you are planning to go with the plant level or you are planning to go at material level or you planning to go at client level. That you must be decided at initial itself when you are doing the configuration. Okay. So let's go to the system. So when there is a configuration batch management, okay, what will happen? It will be common for the there will be a separate configuration for the inventory management, separate configuration for the other areas as well. Okay, so let's go to batch management. Where exactly it is the batch management? Go to logistics general. Okay, batch management. Okay, so specify batch level. You can see here there is a batch level, batch unique at plant level, batch unique at material level, batch unique of client level. That you have to be defined at initially when you are going to the configure. Okay, when you configure the batch management. Okay, clear? So this batch starting management is active. Okay, so at plant level you want to be maintain the batch or it is not required or something which you can define here. Okay, so you can define initial status. You can define like okay, material type level also you can define. Okay, so now you can. This is a restriction error message and warning message and all where there is a batch number. Okay, so generally how it will works batch management. Anyone knows about it? How it will works batch management? What is the master data which is required and how it will works? Do you have any idea
Uh,
about it?
so for so from SD side, I can tell you.
Hmm.
So from SD side, what do we do? What we do is basically we maintain the condition record,
Mm-hmm.
VC/1 something like, and we maintain it for the certain key combination.
Okay.
We usually we maintain it at material level.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
whenever and the batch determination, automatic batch determination in
Mm-hmm.
SAP SD can happen at say at the sales order level, or it may
Mm-hmm.
happen at the delivery level as well.
Yeah,
So
correct. Mm-hmm.
whenever it happens at the delivery level, it usually generates a sub line item.
Mm-hmm.
The main line item is the
Oh, that's
has
fine.
the
That's
quantity
fine.
as zero, and
That that's fine. From the process point of view, it's okay. But transaction
yeah.
point of view, it's okay. But how it is set up then? Better match payment.
Okay, so first of all, we activate the batch.
Okay.
Then we define certain characteristics. Like for example, uh, what this is what I have done. So we are basically maintaining it for the sorting in the batch management. Usually happens for us. It happens at the manufacturing date. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a transaction code as MSC1N.
Mm-hmm.
So this transaction code is basically used for creation of batch number
Correct.
for a
Correct.
particular material. Either it could be at the plant level, or
Mm.
we can define it at the material level. It depends on the settings.
Okay.
And then in the batch master data, we maintain the characteristics. We have to maintain either it could be a manufacturing date or it could be a expiry date.
Mm.
If it is an expiry date, then obviously we have to maintain certain parameter in the material at the material master level as well,
Mm.
like the shelf life or something like that.
Okay.
So that is what I'm aware of.
Okay. 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 So yeah. So now, so generally, okay, how it will be like batch have the characteristics. Okay, so now we will be defining the class and the characteristics. Okay, if you remember that we created release strategy. If you remember that, did you we created a class and characteristics for the release strategy, right? Right. So did you remember that for the release strategy we created class and characteristics? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the class type there for release strategy? What is the class type?
Uh,
It's a
okay.
032, right? A release strategy, it is just 032. But here,
Yeah.
the batch management, it is just 023. Okay. And we need to define the characteristics. Okay. How we are using release strategy for parameters. Here also, what we are defining that, okay, what information it is required in the batch. Okay. So what kind so in this batch, if I'm just looking into the parameters, what parameters I just need to see. Okay. So suppose there is a batch which I received stock from the vendor. Let's assume that I received one stock from the vendor. Let's assume 1,000 pieces. Okay, so generally what information it is required in case if I'm just putting that, because I'm just tracking purpose, I'm creating the batch. So what generally we are generally we what information it is required when I'm just getting the stock. So 1,000 pieces which I'm creating into one batch XYZ. Okay, so by looking into batch XYZ, what information we are expecting to see that. So the first initially anyway we just looking into that vendor information, because where from which vendor we receive this one, right? So that is important when I'm getting the batch. So when I'm just looking at the batch, this batch is we have bought from the this vendor. So generally vendor number is required, right? And the second thing is I can take it up like manufacturing date, because every product, okay, if it is pharma and food industry and it is something okay related that, so manufacturing date is very important, because based on the manufacturing date only, so I can say that this is the old stock or new stock, or it is like I can do. Okay, so other than this one, okay, if we are tracking the stock, so we also should aware about that how long it will be expired, so when it will be expired, right? But this expiry date can be calculated based on the total shelf life of the stock material, right? Shelf life of the material, correct or not? Because if I have today, if I manufacture for this product, if I suppose the mango is there, mango today it's manufactured. So as per that, my quality my quality and all these parameters as per that. So this will be expired within the under 4 days. So that means my total shelf life is for the 4 days only. Our remaining shelf life will be the 4 days. Okay. So that means so manufacturing plus our shelf life will be the remaining is the expiry date. The last date will be the expiry date. Okay. So other than this one, what information it is required? Maybe if you need any material document number, GR number, or PO number, if you need that, it is okay. Okay, because you already have the track number when you are receiving the GRN or PO. You also already link this batch number to that GR number. That's fine. But so majorly, I'm just considering that okay, this information is very important when I'm getting the stock from the vendor, right? Okay. So, and other than this one, why it's very important manufacturing date, or when, or maybe you can consider that goods recipient date also, goods receipt date also. You can tracking that, because when you receive the stock by looking at the batch, okay, this we received on last month. Okay, so so this month we received this one. So GRN date also you can get it the stock. You get that information, right? So why this is very important? Okay, why it is very important when I'm just going to the first in first out. Okay, first in first out. What is the meaning of the first in first out? First in first out
Suppose
or
we
last in LIFO and FIFO. Okay, last in first out and first in first out.
So let's say suppose I have four batches based on manufacturing dates we can go.
Hmm,
Like for 1st of June, 2nd of June, 3rd of June, 4th of June. So
correct.
whenever the batch determination happens, it will, if we are setting it at FIFO level,
Hmm,
then as per FIFO level, 1st June batch will be selected. If we are setting it at the last in first out, that means 4th of June, the batch that created on 4th of June, or the manufacturing date that we have maintained in the batch, that is 4th of June, will be selected for
correct,
batch
correct,
determination.
correct, correct. So basically, so when automatic batch, okay. So if you are selected manually, then there is no you can select any of the number. But when it is a automatic batch allocation, the system will check that what configuration you did and what condition record you maintain, whether you maintain that first in first out or last in first out. Okay, so based on your configuration and the condition records, okay, so if you maintain for the last in first out, then recently whatever the stock which we received, that is the issue to customer. If it is the first in first out, then whatever the stock which we received first, that will be out to the customer. Okay, so those cases we also need the dates, okay, all this information which is very important. Okay, and moreover, SLED date, shelf life expiry date. Okay, so shelf life expiry date. If suppose, okay, if I'm not using this SLED date, what will be happen? I might be missing that to check the whether this is expired or not expired, and the system will, when we are issuing to the customer, I might be send the expired materials as well. Okay, if I don't have this restriction, so the system will check the SLED date, also shelf life expiry date. Okay, based on the above manufacturing date and expiry dates, all these things. So the system will be checking that shelf life expiry date. Okay, and if the stock was expired, okay, system will give the error message. Okay, this stock was expired, so don't send the goods to the customer, or don't use this product in the production, or don't receive the stock. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so majorly these are the benefits in the batch number. Even if you see the pharma and medical, okay, medical insurance and pharma and chemicals and where the food items there, it's very important the batch management, because there will be okay. So today this batch number. So if you see that in the any product, if you bought, suppose you bought something milk packet, so there you have the batch number. So that batch number will give that today this much of latest which is produced, and this is the today date, and this is why the manufacturer, this is the fat, and this is the okay information. So if I see that, let's example this one. Okay, I have the milk packet. So milk packet, it is a fat. Okay, and so fat their percentage like it is 6%. Okay, and okay, there will be some SNF something which is the percentage which is like 3% or 4% or 8%, something which is there. Okay, so the quality parameters also you can maintain at batch level. So when they produce this product, so I can see by looking into the batch number. Okay, these are the milk packets, maybe 100 liters or 200 liters. This milk packets which fat 6% is there, SNF is 3% is there, and manufacture date is today, and there is a self expiry date is 2 days after, and okay, and this is the call like maybe full cream milk and tone milk or something what is. Okay, so it's not only these parameters. What information you are looking into the batch level, that information also you can capture. Maybe fat and SNF and those information also you can capture. Okay, so how you can capture this information? You need to be maintain the characteristics. Okay, first you need to be define the characteristics. Okay, then you need to be assign this to the class. Thus class type should be, you need to be define the class type should be, what is the class type here? 0 2 3. Okay, so enter point of view, these are the very important. Okay, class type and those are very important. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, when you are defining the class type and characteristics, okay, so you must be refer to some tables, which is the batch related tables, MCHA, MCHB, MCH1. Those tables you need to be considered. Okay. So have you aware about this? What is the tables for this batch management?
MCHA is one table.
Sir,
Okay.
MSC1N to create a batch.
MSC1 is the transaction code, not batch. That is not table.
Sorry, sir, MCHA for a
MCH1.
batch list.
Yeah,
And
MCH1. Yeah.
MCHB list of batch along with stocks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can see in the table level, okay, you can see the table level, because when there is a batch number which is created, okay, the batch will be stored into the MCHA batches and MSCH1 batches, okay, MCHP batches. So there are so many tables which is linked for the batch. Okay. So any questions here?
No, sir.
No question.
So, so how to create the batch movement? How to create a batch number? How to create a batch number? So you can create a batch number automatically, or you can create it manually also. So if you created it manually, then you have to go MSC1N transaction code, and you can create the batch number. Okay. If you are going to the automatic, then you must be define the search strategies, condition the access sequence, okay, and the search procedures and search allocations. All these things you have to do, right?
Correct.
So so if I go to MSC1N, okay, what will happen if I need to create the batch manually? Suppose, okay, I just need to create a batch manually, okay, in my plant and store location. Then you can create and you can assign that what information it is required. Okay, so in this case, you manually entering that all the information. Okay, so you manually entering that all this information. But if it is automatically, what will be happen based on your characteristics and class and the condition records and all these things? Okay, the system will automatically picking that the information. Okay, and it will be captured from the all this information into the system. Okay, so where exactly the configuration first is the master data is in MM01. Okay, when you creating the material number. Okay, when you're creating the material number, if I'm just suppose I'm just creating the material number. Okay, so let's go 100 iPhone number. So in the purchasing data or maybe plan data storage one or storage two, you can go to that. There is a checkbox. It is there. There is a checkbox. It is there. Okay. So initial, it is only possible to activate the batch management at the initial without posting anything. Okay. If you already selected and if you don't want to be used the batch management, okay, you must be deactivated before you are proceeding to create the PO or GR or any production orders or a sales orders. Before that only you have to be unselect. If suppose you already processed, if you already created a sales order or you already created something production order, purchase order, in that case, okay, what you need to do, it is not possible to change the settings. Okay, in that case what you have to do, you have to be clear that all the open purchase orders are, that means you need to be delete or you must be clear the stock zero. Okay, the stock must be zero and there should not be any open orders. Okay, so if I see that, and now I just entering trying to activate the batch memory in middle of that, so this material already using for so many process. Okay, now the system is telling that it is not possible. It is not possible to change the activate the batch management. Why it is saying? Because if you can see the display errors, there are so many uh, stock already exists in the all the materials, and there is a warehouse transport request number which is pending, and there will be a contract which is pending, and there is some documents, open sales documents are there. Okay, so many things are there. So if you cleared all these things, that means you are deleted all these things, then it is possible to change. Okay, so why I'm saying here, because in the real time what will be happen, you might be get this kind of the issues. The user will be asking that, boss, can you do can you activate the batch management, because I just mistakenly this batch management is not activated for this material, but I just want to use the batch management for this material. Okay, so in this case, what will be happen? In this case, what will be happen? You must be check that any stock is available or any open orders is created, any open POs created, any open production orders created. Okay, anything which is there, that you need to be clear. Even warehouse level also, there must be clear the transport request and other requirements and other things. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
I have a question over here.
Okay.
Mhm. So, I mean, the exact scenario that we followed, okay,
Hmm.
wherein we went with the batch management go live after 5 minutes after SAP go live. Okay,
Hmm.
so at that time, system used to only close the open sales order and open production order and the stock that is there in the system. But system did not ask us to close the open PO.
You're getting some disturbance here. Can you repeat again?
Is my voice okay?
Some disturbance is there actually. Okay, you just tell me that maybe. Yeah, tell me again.
Okay, I can pose this question
No,
after
no,
this.
no problem. Just tell me that. No problem. We'll see. Right.
Okay.
Tell me what is the question here?
Yeah. So the question is, we went with the batch management after go live after SAP after 5 months after SAP go live. Okay.
Okay.
So all of my all of our materials were used. First of all, we went with some 38 material codes for
Okay.
the batch management go live. Okay.
Okay.
So at that time, this we received this error message log, and they were only asked us to clear the existing stock and existing open sales order and open production orders.
Okay.
The system did not ask us to close the open purchase order.
Okay.
Why is it that?
Open purchase orders. It is asking that to don't clear the batch purchase orders. Open purchase orders. Right.
Yeah, system did not ask us to clear the open purchase order. Why?
Okay. Okay. So might be the question is okay. Maybe in the purchase order creation level, they might be they're not using any batch management. Batch number they didn't assign. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Or it may be it is if suppose let's see in the sales order if I'm creating, I can allocate the availability check. Based on the availability check, the system automatically allocating the batch number. Is it correct or wrong?
it is correct. Yeah,
Correct. So that means
yeah,
the availability check, what it is checking that the stock availability where exactly it is there, which batch it is there, the system it is checking that, and it will be automatically assign the batch number. That means it is reserved for the your sales order. Okay, that means here there is a batch, it is controlling the sales order, the stock, right? Right.
correct. Yeah.
But in the purchase order, when you creating a purchase order, you might be not entering any batch number. Okay, because the batch number it is creating when you are receiving the stock from the vendor.
That is the GRN document. Yeah.
That is a GRN document. Right? If you already stock posted and the stock is available, then it is very difficult to change. Right?
Okay,
So there is a different cases are there. Okay?
okay, got it.
Okay, so that's what in the production order also might be you are already allocated the stock for the components. Okay, maybe MRP it is generated in backend and okay the system already locked the some component it is already locked to that batch and the stock everything. Maybe that is the reason it is again uh, not accepting. Okay, so different cases
Got it.
that will be there, right? Okay,
Okay.
but it will be checked that majorly where exactly the batch it is impacting. Okay, so are you sure that there is no other uh, any no other GRN standard? There is no other stock which is available.
Sorry, what?
No, there is no okay, there is no other stock which is blocking there.
No, only the open sales order on the open production order were there.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Yeah,
And
that
the
is a
system, the
that is a
stock that
major.
is there in the plant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is a major change. That is a major one because we are not assigning any batch number at time of PO creation. At the time of GRN only you are creating, right? So in that case, the system will not be checked. This maybe it is not checking here, and it is checking only sales order because their already allocation is done.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, then I think the configuration and the procedure steps I will explain tomorrow. Okay. because
Noted.
if I just started this configuration, okay. So what I need to do first, I need to create the condition tables and I need to create the access sequence. Then I have to create the strategy types and I have to create a such procedure. Then I need to do the, so you can see everywhere there is a separate is there for inventory management separate and production order separate, okay. And okay, all these things it will be there. Again, you need to be sort roles, you have to define such procedures, you need to be defined. And okay, if you are planning for the FIFO and first in first out, then you need to be defined, okay. All it is needed, okay. Clear? Okay, clear. So we'll discuss tomorrow this one, okay. So any questions here? Any questions here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then shall we stop today, or do you have any questions here? So any discussion is there? We'll continue discussion. Okay, configuration and other part we'll do tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion? Any doubts?
No. No doubt.
Is there any other process which is similar to batch? Is there any other process which is similar to batch?
So this condition table and we do it in the pricing as well. Yes.
Yeah, correct. So in the output determination and pricing procedure and
Yeah.
okay, and here in the batch management, all these is the similar cases only. Okay,
Correct.
so if you know very well on the pricing procedure, then you obviously very easy to maintain the batch management process, and it is very easy to maintain the output determination process as well. Okay, all it is similar cases only. They where we are maintaining the condition tables, access sequence, search strategies, all these things we are defining. But terminology were different. Okay,
Got
clear?
it.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay then. I think we'll discuss tomorrow then. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.